A lot of enthusiasm, really passionate about what he does. I think that's great. He provides professional, organizational, and cleaning services through his business, which is called Simplify with Tim. This is speech number 7 for him. It's called Inspire Your Audience. This speech number 7 is Inspire Your Audience. The title of his speech is Take Your First Step. Toastmasters guests, I'd like to introduce Mr. Tim Hutchinson.
Take your first step. With this speech, I would like to inspire each and every one of us to make an honest and real attempt towards any dreams that we have. A real move towards the dreams that we have. And I'm not necessarily talking about like the dreams of a new video game that's coming out. I'm talking about the dreams that reflect the unique impact we want to have on this earth. The unique expression that we have in other people's lives. The ones that express us. Arguably an invention, a creative expression. It could be starting an organizational business. It could be starting an organization that helps promote education. Or starting a family. Any of those things that express who we are. I don't know if this happened to anybody else, but when I was a teenager, I knew that what happened to me happened to nobody else. True love. I fell in love. Her name was Danielle, and I knew it. We only knew each other on a first-name basis, but in my mind, we spent time together. We would travel together, have conversations together, laugh together. But we only knew each other on a first-name basis. But in the dream world that I had, we were married. It was like Disney love. It was understood. It's funny how intense we can see something, and it's almost like we can feel it happening. We do that as adults, I would argue, with some of the dreams that we have. We can really conceptualize the end result of the dream that we have. We can really daydream about it. And a lot of us at the same time of daydreaming about this dream, we don't necessarily go after them as aggressively as we see them happening. Where's the disconnect? Where's the disconnect? So the dreams that we have, they can again be a creative expression, an invention, an organization, a business, or they could be, family-oriented, whatever it is. Keep those in your minds as we continue to talk about making first steps towards our dreams. So, the first step, when we approach it, we experience something that kind of restrains us. What is that? What can that be? And if we live our lives only in the dream, if we only go into the daydream, then it's almost like we're sleepwalking. It's almost like we're dream zombies bumping into relationships and careers. If we don't take a real approach to our dreams, we're kind of letting life happen to us, in a sense, and we escape reality to go into the dream. We'd rather live in the dream than live the dream. I know I'm not saying that this is all of us, but I would like this speech to motivate us towards the real steps of our dreams. And this is going to sting. This is going to sting thinking about the fact that it's like we're being zombies. But I don't want that to demotivate anybody. It's just the reality of the situation. The reality of the situation and facing that. So what demotivates us? What seems to slow us down? So this girl, Danielle, I was in love with. I used to daydream about interacting with her, and like if I was going to see her that night, I knew what would happen. Just think back to some of the crushes that you had as a teenager. You would imagine like conversations that you'd have. I did. And I would daydream about, if I knew I was going to see her that night, I would daydream about playing foosball. All right, hold on, I know. I thought that was cool back then. I did that a lot. But I was playing foosball, I'm like winning. She walks in, I hit the winning score, and everyone's like, oh, and I'm like, oh yeah, oh hey, what's up? And she's just like, oh, you're so cool. Or I would imagine like a conversation with her, and I would say something, and then she would say something, and then I would reply, and she would laugh and laugh and laugh. It was like she was in love with me and just loved it and laughed. Man, it was great. Reality check, that night would happen. I know she's coming, so I start playing foosball. All right, she's getting close. She opens the door. I check the score, I'm losing. All right, I gotta pick it up. I start really playing, I'm like really trying to win. She's getting closer. All right, scratch it, plan B. I pull away from the foosball game, And I go to interact with her. I just completely quit. People still wonder why I walked away from them. And I go up to engage in conversation with her. And I say something, and then she says something that is completely different than what the Danielle in love with me said in my mind. And it throws me off, and I'm like, oh. So I go for the joke anyway. And she's not laughing. I didn't win foosball. She's dating my best friend. We're not married. Like, what's going on? It is amazing that we could possibly look at the teenage crush and learn from it maybe some of the reasons some of us don't go after the dreams that we have. I'm not saying we're not going after the dreams that we have, but I like to put it in a very black and white perspective. Let's make it as if we weren't being aggressive about our dreams. So what is it that resists? I believe a teenager in love experience can benefit us as an allegory to know why we as adults don't go after our dreams. What is that experience that demotivates us when we begin to move towards our dreams? A real step, an honest attempt towards what we want. What slows us down? And what do I mean by a real step? Let's define that real quickly. I want to make it a baby step. Let's make it simple. This week, take 1 hour to study the topic of your dream. Whether it's the creation, the invention, organization, the business, or if it's the starting a family, whatever it is. I don't know what they could be. Instead of dreaming about it, take an hour and really look into it. That's a baby step. It's a real step. And honestly, I'm preaching to myself years ago. I wish I heard my speech now for me years ago. So some of you, again, you may be well on your way. Let this motivate you even more. But if you're on the edge of your dreams, like a child at the edge of a pool, and you're not going to jump in just yet, maybe this can help you. Because identifying the experience that we have when we make a real step towards the dreams that we have can help us make the resolve to push through the emotions that demotivate and keep the dream going. An example of why this is important. If I know I'm going to drink tonight, it's better that I decide now not to drink. Because a decision made while drinking is typically not that good. In a similar fashion, before we get drunk with the demotivating feelings that can hit us when we make a real step, let's make a decision now to push through. So what is this unique experience that we all have when we try to make our dreams reality? It's simple. I call it an unknown path. Think about it. We conceptualize our dreams to such a degree that it's like a movie in our minds. And we're conceptualizing the end result. We're looking into the future, and all this dopamine and all this adrenaline is rushing when we're thinking about this happens. We can really conceptualize what people are saying, what we feel, how we impact other people. It's known to us like a movie, and we can escape reality into it. But when we make a real step towards it, we haven't really daydreamed about the process. Small example. I would like to go to Iceland this year. I'm daydreaming about volcanoes. I'm not daydreaming about comparing ticket prices. The two are going to feel different. And if I identify my dream with the way I could feel looking at a volcano, and I don't consider the fact that the process is going to feel different, then when I step towards and start clicking through ticket prices, I can feel, oh, this doesn't feel like my dream. In a similar fashion, for the things we want to do, as soon as we make a real step towards our dreams, even a baby step, it's not going to feel like the dream. It's not going to feel like that movie we escaped to. The adrenaline's not going to come rushing. Yeah, research. Or we might have to get a degree. We might have to make an investment, meet people we had never thought about, explore places we'd never been. This unknown path does not have the feelings of the exciting dream we've been giving ourselves. We're kind of spoiling ourselves. And if we did dream about the process, it's so unique, it's likely not going to happen in reality. She walks in right when I'm playing foosball and winning. I hit the winning score, and everybody's like, woo, and she's like, ah, and she's in love with me. She laughs at everything that I say. That is a reflection of a process that is so complex, and of course it practically falls in my lap, like I'm just so cool all the time, and I'm playing foosball. Who's going to marry somebody who's cool because they play foosball? Well, maybe that happens. Either way, it is important to realize that the dreams that we have, what we want to do, they don't feel like what we see in the future, and they don't look like what we dreamed about. That's normal. That's a part of the process. That's a part of it all. I would encourage, and I hope to inspire each and every one of you to make the resolve now, to make your first steps anyway. Get the momentum going. Move towards your dreams, even in baby steps. Take your first steps. And arguably, we need those dreams in reality. We need those dreams. They make you happy, and they benefit other people. Bring those dreams about. Take your first step. Mr. Toastmaster.